Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys, you remember I read part 4 yesterday regarding Scientology, children and auditing, religious ritual or abuse. I'm going to start from the beginning now, and I will leave a link in the description box. This is part 1, posted on August 23rd, 2021 by Stephanie Hutchinson. Okay, wait a minute, you guys. Okay, you guys, I vetted this out a little bit. I'm definitely not a fan of Stephanie Hutchinson, but I'm going to go through the parts that I haven't covered already because I like the information here. So I hope you guys can understand. I'm not a fan of her at all, but I'm kind of thinking, I'm wondering to myself if she started out with good tendencies and then got, what do you call it, like taken over, if you know what I mean. So we've already talked about the 7-year-old girl getting a kiss. We've gone through that. Auditing is the process whereby one delves deeply into some triggering past event, reliving it over and over, that's MKUltra, until one no longer reacts emotionally. It's also, I think that's NLP, I think, that you take the charge away from. It's magic. This is repression, and it is not a healthy way to deal with traumatic memories. From Hubbard's example, one extrapolates that the auditor's job then is to bring the 7-year-old little girl to a place where she no longer reacts to having a grown man passionately kiss her. So maybe Hutchinson started out with good intentions. Maybe. Her initial shudder of revulsion was a normal, reasonable reaction to being molested. It was both a physical and emotional response to an uncomfortable, inappropriate situation, a way to recognize the need for boundaries to protect herself. She should see nothing wrong in a kiss, even a passionate one. Here, buried in Scientology scripture, are the seeds of abuse, proof of a mindset that is unequivocally injurious to children and adolescents being raised within the cult. Thus, there is a compelling, though admittedly circumstantial, argument for classifying Scientology auditing of and by minors as child abuse. For years, former members have described traumatic childhood sexual abuse, while in Scientology, Miriam Francis, Saina Kamula, and Serge Gill are only a few of the abused. Their heartbreaking revelations stemming from Scientology's toxic, twisted doctrine. Are you guys seeing what happened here? Without me going into too much detail, you can kind of see, right? She was talking about Serge Gill's abuse. She was talking about Miriam Francis. She was talking about Saina Kamula, and she's not talking about it anymore. Wakey, 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 you guys. Scientology, of course, denies every claim leveled against them. Yeah, Darvo. Denial does not create reality, however much Tom Cruise may insist otherwise. Nor does it counter years of credible first-person testimony of neglect and abuse that covers the most sinister violation of each conceivable human condition. Every insidious form of emotional, psychological, physical, sexual, spiritual, financial, and social destruction pervades the very fabric of Scientology. Destruction that is not regulated to the cult's past, but because of its strict demand of unstinting, immutable obedience to Hubbard's scripture, continues today unchecked. Yeah, how about that, LAPD, Clearwater PD? Scientology abuses. It cannot do anything else because L. Ron Hubbard demanded it to be so. Of greatest concern are the children trapped within this never-ending nightmare, their own parents willing participants. Their own parents willing participants. Do you guys see what happened there? Sacrificing them on the altar of Hubbard's hate-fueled mental illness and David Miscavige's insatiable greed. Not just David Miscavige. A lot of them are in on it. All the parents are. Taught from birth to believe they deserve anything bad that happens to them. Children in Scientology are shamed into silence, blamed for accident, illness, or worse. Told that they are responsible. They pulled in the negative event because they committed crimes in a past life. These innocent, most vulnerable of victims have no voice. Have no voice. I'm going to be making a video regarding their voice in some point. No oversight and no protection, kept hidden from and ignorant of the laws designed to protect and safeguard. Many minors in Scientology are destined for a life of grievous mental illness and despair. L. Ron Hubbard declared toddlers suppressive. Aboard the Apollo, he insisted that children were in reality adults in small bodies, a belief still held today by Scientologists. Hubbard cruelly punished the youngest under his demented control. Yeah, and who else was there doing the same thing with him? He didn't do it by himself. Imprisoning them in the ship's chain locker. Chain locker. This is sounding like a song to me. I wonder if one of the very talented singers, I might be doing this at some point again, but one of the very talented singers/musicians could make a song about how the children get locked in chain lockers in Scientology. Facts. Just maybe don't put the word Scientology in there. They'd be trying to get all tricky. Where they sobbed in filthy darkness for parents who never came. For parents who never came. Seemed like Hutchison had her heart in the right place in the beginning. Huh. Almost like she was taken over by someone. Like a demon. Scientology has a documented history of child abuse that no amount of denial can sweep away. Given this track record, it is unreasonable and irresponsible to believe that minors are treated any less cruelly today. Facts. In the face of growing exposure by former members, one thing is certain. Like any bully, COS has only worked to find new, more creative ways to hide their actions. Yeah, and then meanwhile she got paired up with the biggest hider, including using the shield of religion. It is beyond time to stop pretending that Scientology has a First Amendment right to treat their members as tools, raising children in toxic, dangerous disregard, guaranteed to damage their mental and emotional health in perpetuity, is not the way to spiritual freedom. She's a good writer. For many of these child victims, there is no ritual in Scientology more detrimentally fraught with the potential for emotional and psychological peril than auditing. And this was taken, somehow Mike Rinder got this photo. I don't know where to get it on my own. And then he did a blog post. She shouldn't have even, she could have gotten that picture on her own. I won't endorse a Mike Rinder. I'm sorry, I just won't. Part 2, the realities of auditing. I'm going to be reading the next one as well. Link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day. And just to let you guys know, I feel pretty good today. Just want to let you know. Peace.